In all honesty, it kind of surprises us when young players are expected to exceed expectations on a regular basis. Part of the reason that many young players have failed to live up to their potential is due to the weight of expectation and the fact that the player in question is never given any sort of leeway by the media or the football pundits, who simply jump the gun the moment they see the said player make a small mistake. Moreover, a player's confidence is impacted if he's not managed properly. This is why we at Goalside are a little apprehensive every time a young player makes a big money move to a top club. We've seen it happen many times. A good player starts making a name for himself and then all the big clubs start hovering above. The youngster eventually makes a move to the club in the backdrop of hours of rounds of negotiations, followed closely by a media frenzy. The young player arrives at his new club billed as the one for the future. The media expect the player to become the next Messi and always end up games with a 10 out of 10 rating. Fans expect the player to be better than all the seasoned veterans already there. The moment things start going south, there'll be unwanted media attention, with former players and coaches starting to criticise the player for not being able to justify his hefty price tag because, hey, the players decide how much they cost, right? In the end, constant criticism, lack of support and low confidence ruins the player's form, and he never manages to reach his full potential before fading into an ocean of obscurity. This summer, Chelsea managed to beat competition from several clubs to the signing of German international Kai Havertz. The youngster arrives with a €100 million price tag and is expected to hit the ground running. The youngster is regarded as one of the hottest players developed in Germany for a long time and was linked with moves to Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Real Madrid. However, Havertz decided to move to Chelsea in the summer transfer window, where Frank Lampard has spent around €200 million to bring in the likes of Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Ben Chilwell and Thiago Silva. The Blues are putting together a squad for the future, and bringing in Havertz, who at 21 is still far away from reaching his full potential, is a true signal of intent. The former Leverkusen man's much anticipated debut for the club turned out to be a rather low-key affair. Chelsea won the opening game of the new season 3-1 against Brighton, but Havertz wasn't really able to show his true colours. Want to know how we never miss a match? With Fubo TV, you can stream any game, anytime, anywhere. Use our link in the description to start for free and watch your favourite teams live. The 21-year-old was positioned in a deeper role and was unable to influence proceedings the way he did during his time at Bayer Leverkusen. However, during the 2-0 defeat at the hands of Premier League champions Liverpool, Havertz was played as a false nine with Timo Werner operating from a wider attacking position. That didn't really make much of a difference either, as the young German struggled to really impose himself on the field. This approach wasn't only about Werner though, as Chelsea could also try to find Mount, Havertz or even N'Golo Kante in behind. However, they lacked quality in their deliveries. Sometimes the lofted balls were way too hard for the attackers to chase. In other occasions, the passes were too short and didn't even reach Liverpool's final third. Rather indifferent displays in the first two games for Chelsea made a lot of people jump to conclusions and even criticise the young player. However, that was an unfair assessment, given the fact that Havertz has had to play in two different roles in his early days. The German international can play in a wide variety of roles. He can play in the hole, play down the right flank, and even play as a striker. During the last few months of the 2019-20 Bundesliga season, Havertz was deployed as a striker, which is where he got most of his goals. While playing as a right-sided winger, the youngster has the ability to create opportunities for his teammates. Throughout his time at Bayer Leverkusen, the first time he made his debut for the senior team, Havertz had already established the reputation of a player who could play in multiple positions up front. Due to the fact that he has great vision and great close control, you'd always expect Havertz to always find that killer pass. This is why you can never say exactly what sort of player he really is. Is he one of those players who'll keep on scoring goals on a regular basis, or is the youngster a playmaker who in the long run will become a true number 10? So is Havertz going to make Chelsea better? Absolutely. Is Havertz a future megastar? We believe so. How Havertz acclimatises himself at Stamford Bridge, however, and how he integrates with players like Timo Werner, Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Mason Mount, N'Golo Kante, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Tammy Abraham is less certain. England is not the easiest place to break through, and it certainly is not the most patient place for a young core of players to meld together. Making the Blues better, however, won't be good enough for Havertz. He'll be paid like a club saviour. That hefty contract will come with major pressure to perform. And let's be real, this critique has nothing to do with his talent or ability, but but mostly with the brazen financial gamble that Chelsea are making, and the inherent risk that comes with trying to build around a core of young players like Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, etc. For the record, we actually like this new core group for Chelsea, but man, it will be a nuclear bomb level implosion if things don't work out. In the end, a €100 million transfer fee and a €100 million salary over 5 years are the standards that Havertz will be judged by in England. It seems a tad high when the global economy is a Jeff Bezos sneeze away from totally collapsing, but who in their right mind would turn away that kind of money? Definitely not Bayer Leverkusen or Havertz himself. But returning to whether the youngster has silenced his critics or not, it's clear that you can never win over fans or detractors. Even if there's a game where you end up scoring a hat-trick, there'll be that one person who would focus on something that a sane person would logically ignore to delve much into. Funnily enough, Kai Havertz has already scored a hat-trick. The youngster scored 3 goals against Barnsley in the EFL Cup, and while people would say, "Ooh, it's only Barnsley," we would just say that it's never easy to score a goal in cup competitions, let alone score 3. Moreover, the fact that Havertz is still young, didn't have enough time in pre-season with his new teammates, makes his ruthless display against Barnsley all the more important. What's more, this was the first time Havertz had scored a hat-trick in his entire career, and guess what? He's the youngest ever Chelsea player to score a hat-trick in the League Cup. Clearly, he's doing something right. Manchester United fans and neutrals have been blown away by the performances put in by Bruno Fernandes. The Portugal international has definitely helped grab the club out of a pond of mediocrity. However, Havertz has got one over the former Sporting man in only 3 weeks by scoring more goals in open play than the United midfielder, provided 8 assists this year. In fact, only Robert Lewandowski, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are the players from Europe's top 5 leagues to have more goal involvement than the German wonderkid. Another stat for you. Havertz has played almost 2,400 minutes during the calendar year to date and contributes a goal or an assist every 85 minutes. It's hard to pinpoint Havertz's exact role, but he plays a hybrid of a playmaker and box-to-box role, where he can link up play but also attack the box with late runs by finding pockets of space. Even though the majority of his playtime has come at right wing, his playstyle is dynamic and malleable enough to play those 3 positions well. His heat map is indicative of his preferred areas, and what's most prominent is his preference to play in both the central and wide areas. We can also see activity in the 18-yard box, which comes from his late runs when he plays in central midfield. Havertz has excellent timing, and his runs into the box often result in him finding space to latch onto a cutback or cross. While Chelsea do have a lot of attacking options to choose from, signing Havertz was something that will always make sense. The last time the Blues made a similar purchase was when they bought Eden Hazard from Lille. Likened to Michael Ballack, Havertz is a technically gifted player who can shine in any position he's fielded in. Of course there'll be a few hiccups here and there, but that doesn't mean that he's a bad player. It's just that he's only 21, and everyone out there expects him to perform like he's been playing top-level football for 10 years. So, everyone, calm down.